Uh-oh, David Lynch. Hey, he's back underway. All right. David Lynch having some trouble in the 78 car. Not sure what's going on with him. Lynch pulls it down into the infield, and I don't think we're going to go green because he stops on the back straightaway. Right back to caution. Caution flag back on the Speedway. David Lynch in the 78. And now we have to get them all relined up again. Sean Nadeau down pit road. Owen Brandy down pit road. David Lynch in the 78. Down pit road as well. Green flag back in the air. Pure Stock's back underway. Scott Vienne in the 5's in trouble. Tegan Edson gets in him. Everybody scrambling down the back straightaway, and Howard Brown leads the way. Scott Vienne in the 5, the only car that didn't make it through that. Caution flag back on the Speedway. Pure Stock's having some issues getting their 25-lap main event underway. Scott Vienne back underway. He'll head pit side as well. Daryl Quinlan down pit road. Attrition taking its toll early here in the 25-lap main event for the Pure Stocks. MLM Diagnostics Pure Stocks having a tough time getting their 25-lap main event going here. The 35 of Nadeau back on the Speedway. So Howard Brown leads the way. Jamison Ritter's second, the 34. George Riley Jr. third. Fourth is Billy Osborne, and Caden Roberts, unofficially right now from the tail of the field, runs fifth. Scott Vienne in the 5 set to return. Looks like Daryl Quinlan rolling pit side as well in the 12Q. Quinlan's 12 car does not sound very healthy at the back of the pack. We'll keep an eye on that. All right, I'm going to cross them up and try this one more time. Howard Doo-Doo Brown on the point. Jamison Ritter outside. George Riley Jr. third. Fourth, Osborne. And fifth is Caden Roberts. Let's see if we can log some laps here. 25-lap main event for the Pierce Stocks. Back underway. Green flag back in the air. We're back underway. Howard Brown leads them down the back straightaway in the 03. Here comes George Riley Jr. now in the 34. George Riley Jr. to the bottom side on Jamison Ritter for the second spot. Billy Osborne falls in line, and he's going to follow George Riley Jr. through. Hey, what do you say? We got a lap under our belt. Here comes Billy Osborne for the third spot now. George Riley Jr. clears Ritter into the second spot. Howard Doo-Doo Brown leads the way in the 03 car, trying to nail down his first feature win of the 2022 campaign. Billy Osborne clears Ritter into the third spot. Ritter back to fourth. Fifth is Roberts. Here comes Gage Osborne and Jimmy Connor. Connor to the outside on Flaherty. Scott Vienne makes it 3 wide down into turns 3 and 4. Up front, it is heavy action between Brown, Riley Jr., and the 59 of Billy Osborne. Osborne steps to the outside on George Riley Jr. now for the second spot. Billy Osborne now steps to the outside on George Riley Jr. for spot number 2. Gage Osborne down underneath Roberts. He'll take the fifth spot away. Side by side for spot number 2. Osborne up high. Riley down low. Wheel to wheel with Howard Brown leading the way, trying to make that 03 car as wide as possible. Howard Brown way up the racetrack. George Riley Jr. fills the hole down low. Side by side for the lead now. George Riley Jr. down low on Howard Brown. He'll take the lead down to turns 3 and 4. Howard Brown fights back on the outside groove, side by side for the top spot. George Riley Jr. going to clear Howard Brown down the back straightaway. He brings Billy Osborne with him. Right behind them, Gage Osborne and Scott Vienne working to the bottom side of Jamison Ritter. George Riley Jr. your leader now in car 34. Now Howard Brown gets into Billy Osborne. Osborne hangs onto that car. Here comes Gage Osborne now. Gage Osborne in the 55 down underneath Howard Brown for the third spot. Billy Osborne still trying to hang on to car number 59. Black flag being displayed to the 5 of Scott Vienne. Bumper hanging off the back of the 5 car of Vienne. Right now not adhering to the black flag from Chief Starter Mike Walker. Up front, George Riley Jr., your leader in car 34. The battle is between the Osbornes. Now more contact between Billy Osborne and Gage Osborne this time. George Riley Jr. trying to drive away from the Osbornes, who sit second and third right now. Scott Vienne in car number 5 not adhering to the black flag from Mike Walker. The 5 of Vienne not being scored right now. George Riley Jr. now catching the tail end of the field. Trevor Michaud going to be first to go a lap down. The battle is for the second spot. Billy Osborne and Gage Osborne, uncle and nephew going at it. Riley Jr. now to the outside on Trevor Michaud. Slows Riley Jr. way up in the 34. Here comes Billy Osborne now. Halfway home at the line that time by 13 down, 12 to go for George Riley Jr. George Riley Jr. clears the lap traffic. Now he's going to try once again to run away from Billy Osborne in the 59. Billy Osborne now putting the pressure to your leader, George Riley Jr. Gage Osborne in tow. 10 fingers in the air this time by for George Riley Jr. Osborne to the bottom side, now down the front chute. Billy Osborne gets to the bottom side on George Riley Jr. down the back straightaway. New leader, it's Billy Osborne in car 59. Gage Osborne now going to fill the hole down underneath George Riley Jr. side by side for second. Gage Osborne has the second spot. So now the battle is going to be between Billy Osborne and Gage Osborne. Race fans, the 5 of Vienne not being scored. Once again, the 5 of Scott Vienne not being scored in the 3rd spot. So George Riley Jr. still has the 3rd spot in the 34. Caution flag on the Speedway. Ritter in the 2 car comes to a stop. So this is going to get very interesting. Scott Vienne's going to be sent pit side in the 5 car. Fender hanging off the 5 of Vienne. And Mike Walker gave him the black flag for quite a while, and now he's going to tell him what the black flag means. Vienne gonna head pit side in the 5, get that bumper ripped off. Billy Osborne, your leader, looking to go back to back. Can the Rampage, Gage Osborne, his nephew, get by? Does defending champion George Riley Jr. have anything left in the tank? Howard Doo-Doo Brown not out of it in the 4th spot, and Jimmy Connor up to 5th in the 00. Once again, race fans, the winner of this will pull the 50-50 ticket, $601 to tonight's 50-50 winner. So the winner of this race will pull the 50-50 ticket. Jamison Ritter back on the Speedway in car 2. All right, green flag set to fly. 17 laps in the record books, 8 remain for Billy Osborne. He's got his nephew Gage to his outside. Green flag back in the air. MLM Diagnostics, Pure Stocks backing away. Gage Osborne gets a great jump on Uncle Billy. Billy Osborne sleeping on the start a little bit, didn't get up to speed, and Gage Osborne leads him down the backstretch. Now George Riley Jr. trying to find a way by Billy Osborne for the 2nd spot. That's going to be the battle now. Howard Brown and Daryl Quinlan going at it for the 4th spot with Jimmy Connor right there. Here comes Daryl Quinlan now. Daryl Quinlan trying to find the outside on Howard Brown as they head down the back straightaway. Jimmy Connor right there. It's a 3-car battle for spot number 4. Gage Osborne leads the way. Billy Osborne 2nd. George Riley Jr. 3rd. The battle is for the 4th spot. Now they're 3 wide down the front straightaway. Jimmy Connor had to get on the binders because Howard Brown slammed the door shut, but Daryl Quinlan has the advantage on the outside groove and has the 4th spot. Quinlan, after his early race mishap in car 12Q, has the outside groove on Howard Brown. 5 laps to go at the line for Gage Osborne. Battle for 2nd heating up now between George Riley Jr. in the 34 and the 59 of Billy Osborne. Daryl Quinlan. Caution flag on the Speedway, debris on the Speedway. Big bumper in the middle of turns 1 and 2. And the caution flag will fly once again. Debris in turns 1 and 2, as you can see, is the reason for the caution flag. So now we'll see once again as Billy Osborne sleeping on that restart, and he's not going to be happy if he loses to his nephew Gage, I can tell you that. We'll see if he can get it back on the outside groove. George Riley Jr. right there waiting for something to happen in the 34. Daryl Quinlan up to 4th. 5th is Howard Brown. Here we go, 5-lap shootout. Gage Osborne on the bottom side, Billy Osborne up high. Green flag back in the air. Pierce Stock's back underway. Once again, Gage gets the upper hand on Uncle Billy. He's going to bring George Riley Jr. with him on the bottom side, down the back straightaway. Ooh, Roberts sideways in the 08. He keeps it rolling. We stay green. George Riley Jr. in the 34 car able to clear Billy Osborne. Here comes Daryl Quinlan. Quinlan throws it in a ton down underneath Billy Osborne. He has the 3rd spot. Daryl Quinlan out of nowhere in the 12Q takes the 3rd spot away. Billy Osborne back to 4th now in the 59. Howard Brown 5th. Up front, Gage Osborne trying to run away from 2nd place points man George Riley Jr. They are 1-2 in points right there as they run 1-2 down the front chute. Keep an eye on that battle for the 3rd spot. Daryl Quinlan took it away aggressively from Billy Osborne, and he's into the 3rd spot. Battle for the 5th spot heating up as well. 2 laps to go at the line this time by for the Rampage, Gage Osborne. Daryl Quinlan wants more on that 12Q car. He's working the back bumper on George Riley Jr. now. Tegan Edson down through the grass. She keeps it rolling. We stay green. Thank you, Tegan. White flag in the air this time by. Final trip around for the Rampage, Gage Osborne. George Riley Jr. right now not within striking distance. The battle's going to be for 3rd as Billy Osborne tries to find a way by Daryl Quinlan. Down the back straightaway for the final time. Checkered flag in the air. Keeps the points lead after this one. Checkered flag in the air. Your Pierce Stock winner, Gage Osborne. 2nd to George Riley Jr. 3rd to Daryl Quinlan. 4th to Billy Osborne. And 5th to Howard Brown in the 03. We'll head trackside.